0, and we are live. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
I guess
yes.
I guess
Yes,
it's stream
yes.
delay because I'm watching your stream as now.
Mm-hmm. What? I mean, I don't know. Anyways. Hello, everybody. Another beautiful occasion.
Hello?
In this case,
Apparently
hello.
I'm low.
Ah,
Vita, yeah.
yeah. Wait. I know that. There it is.
Oh my god, it
Speak a
was
little bit
intentional.
more.
It's so over. You made me low on purpose so no
Uh,
one could hear me.
no, sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I am sorry. It should be fine, I think, now. I hope. I pray. I believe.
What do you mean I sound like I'm inside a shoe?
Yeah. Vita, that is his normal audio. That is how he sounds when he has no filters. I guess.
Is your Discord audio just like really screwed up?
Hear yourself. That is how you sound always on Discord.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy. I swear to God, that's not how I sound. What? There's no way.
Yeah.
No. You're screwing with me. You're screwing with me. What?
Okay, wait. I can try to do this, but you should try to increase a little bit of your audio.
That's so clear on my end, dude. What are you smoking? I'm actually gonna unmute your stream. Oh my god, it's so bad. What the fuck? Dude, what's wrong with your stream? Why is it so bad?
Man, I don't know. That is normal, I think.
No, it's not.
I
No
mean-
one else hears me like that. No one has ever.
Go-
Exactly. Even on Kopa's channel, it sounds normal.
What the fuck?
It's like literally only
What?
fucked up for you, dude. I swear to God.
No, this is so. No. You are ruining it.
I'm ruining it.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
fault. Yeah.
No. This is so. I don't know even what to say, man.
Well, the show must go on. We just keep going.
Yeah. Let me increase your volume a little bit just in case. But
I don't know if it's gonna make it any
mean-
better.
yeah, I don't think, but it is going to make it higher. I don't know.
Whatever. As
But
long as they
anyways,
can understand me, like, as long as they can understand a bit of what I'm saying, it's fine.
But I guess I should try to hear the audio even myself. Is it different from the Discord? I guess. Let me check.
Well, it should be. Unless you have like some fucking. I couldn't even imagine what you would do on OBS to make it sound worse.
Try to hear the audio even myself.
Well, yeah, I do. It's the same thing. I don't know what's wrong with his
Discord, I guess.
his Discord or his OBS. Because on my end, I sound fine. You know, and you mentioned before on other streams that I sound fine too. Yeah, I do.
Wait! I forgot that I forgot. No.
Dude, what the hell? I'm getting hate. I'm getting flack on a channel that's not even mine. Like, what the frick?
This is so sad.
What did I do to deserve this, Copa? I thought we were friends. I'm literally crying right now.
This is quality content. But I mean, we have to do it. Arkia said that he was interested in something,
In what?
and I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that's like the most vague thing you could say. He's interested in something, I don't know what.
Well, I mean, sorry for kind of trolling, you know.
I don't apologize to me, apologize to Chad, dude. They came out. They went out of their own way to watch this.
To watch this quality content.
Yeah, you guys should watch
Should
your
watch
language.
out. Yeah.
What the
I mean-
frick? Holy
Oh,
crap.
damn. But also, it is already official. Wait, Copa. You can't learn to play Mahjong. You literally can't learn how to play Mahjong. You start the game and you start to get combinations. As simple as that. It isn't that complex, man. I don't know. You understand the rules, and after that you play. It isn't that much complex. No Arke is going to find the reality when he plays. It really isn't something that requires that much mental ability.
No, I think it
I would
does, dude.
say,
I think it does. It takes so much skill. What the hell? Dude, it's like chess.
but what?
What do you mean? Yeah, it's like chess.
Have you
Is it not like
played?
chess?
Have you played Mahjong?
Actually, no, I have not. I think I watched someone explain the rules like one time and I forgot all of it. I've actually never touched the game.
Okay. But on your stream, you said that you don't play poker also, no?
No, I know how to play poker. I just
So-
don't play poker.
Okay. If you know how to play poker, it is like that.
I don't know. I find the hands a lot harder to keep track of. I don't know. There's something like maybe it's just because I'm used to it, but I find poker a lot easier to keep track of.
Yeah. The difference is also that, let's say on poker you have more specific things that you can win with. Or not specific, less things that you should focus on one hand. But on Mushroom you have like, I think they are 8 pieces, unless you start to do more complex combinations, but there is no real obligation for you to do anything of that. You can always win with very basic hands, always.
Yeah, I mean that's the
I
one
mean,
thing
it's,
for me. I feel like the win conditions aren't as obvious like in poker. But again, that just might be me not having enough experience.
yeah, I mean, it seems so far that the different win conditions are very simple. Trying to go for the I think the thing that almost everybody searches is Yakuman. If you try to get a Yakuman, you are going to have a real hard time. But aside from that, the rest is very simple. I will argue compared to. I mean, I think one of the things that give you points is having 5 pieces of the same type in a row, and that isn't that hard to do. From 1 to 5.
I mean, I can't really confirm nor deny that because I've never played the game again. So I actually created an account beforehand.
Oh
I did that to look at the roles.
Oh my god. Wait. This is potential.
Please don't tell me we're playing it right now. Like I'm not gonna play it right now. That's not what we're doing.
No, why not? No, why not?
I don't think I have the brain power to do it right now. You know, I was gonna save my first time for my own stream. Sorry.
No.
I promised my audience. I promised you. I promised my audience I was gonna stream first time tomorrow. If I wasted on your stream, like I'd be debuffed. You know.
It is a waste to do it here.
Yeah, I promised my own audience. You know. Sorry, dude.
I am a waste.
Yeah.
That's
sorry,
what you're
sorry,
saying.
dude. Sorry.
No. I mean, I don't know it. I don't play it here, so.
You don't play any games on your channel, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, something that happens. I mean, aside from having social relationships, I don't really play anything. No, don't worry. This is, yeah. I can say literally that it is true. Imagine coming to my channel and telling me that I am a waste. How do I have to feel about it?
Well,
I feel like I am going to cry, man.
Dude, it's kind of true though. Like you know, I can't waste my content on someone else's channel.
I am a waste. Thank you. Sorry for it. You know what? I am sorry for importunating you, Ark.
You know, don't feel bad, dude. Like someone requested that I should have a redeem to make fun of people. So you know, you're the first to experience this. You don't even have to pay for it.
Wait, Arke.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you see what Vita asked before? You didn't, right?
About me being a rude guest? Sorry, I must have missed it.
No. Watch that pin. And you have to answer, to read it and to answer that.
I'm very sorry. You don't get that from me. I don't give those away for free. Do you think that these potato points are worth the same as basil blocks, dude? You're like comparing two different currencies, you know?
But why not?
That's not what I offer. That's not the service I offer here, dude. Sorry.
But please,
No,
please, Arkia.
you can't. You can't even.
Arkia.
I won't do it even with a please. Sorry.
But Copa already has redeemed something. Vita already has redeemed something. Come on, Arkia,
This is not
they
my
want
channel.
it.
I don't even know how to, dude. I don't even know how to
That,
kiss.
that's why you don't have to worry about consequences. You do it and nobody has to know that you did it.
I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. You can't force me.
But-
You can't do that. You have no power over me. You think you can make me
But-
do something?
But Arkia.
There's no
don't-
basil kiss. There will not be a basil kiss redeem, dude. No matter how hard you ask, no matter how many emotes you post in chat, it's not happening.
But people is really wanting that. Arkia.
Do the potato kiss, dude.
Why?
I'm sorry, I don't offer that service. You
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
you should go to someone else, dude.
I'm
I'm
not going
sorry.
to
I'm
say
sorry.
it.
I don't offer BFE here. Not yet.
but why not, Arkia? Please.
No, I can't. You know, I'm not ready. It's important. I gotta save my first time. You know, on my stream for content. No, do not, Vita. I can't let you say this to you. I'm literally crying.
Please, Arkia.
No, change topic. I request a topic change.
Okay. Sorry, Arkia. Sorry. No. Well, I mean, it is true only on the Copa streams he offers BFE. Nowhere else. He doesn't want to read scripts. He doesn't want to give us Anarchia keys. He doesn't want anything. He hates us, basically.
I'm sorry. That's just how it is, dude.
No. I will guess. Arkia has already become crazy because of the numbers.
That's the conclusion you come to?
Yeah. Too many people asking for things that you're not willing to do makes you think you have the possibility of saying no. It was always based on the
No, I always have the possibility to say no. What the hell are you talking about, dude? I can refuse anytime.
But how are you going to get numbers if you say no, Arkia?
Do not say I'm leeching from people. That's literally not true. That's factually untrue. I can't you guys come to this conclusion just because I don't want to kiss on stream.
But why wouldn't you do it then?
I don't want to
What
do it.
would
I'm
be
just not comfortable. I don't want to do it, you know? I gotta save it. It's important. You can't just give that away. For 0 basil blocks, dude. 0. How's that even fair? How is that fair to all the other basil fans? I'm not Vita. I'm not. You know, if you unfollow, you might miss the Jong tomorrow. You gotta remember that. Maybe I'll do a gorilla Jong, and you would miss it as a non-follower.
This is so sad. We lost it. We had something precious here.
Did we?
Maybe. I think. Do you say we didn't?
Yeah, I don't think we had. I don't think we had anything special. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, okay. Allow me to stop importunating you. For real.
You would, yeah. Do you have any other topics? Like, is this all we're gonna discuss?
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, it has been pretty much literally shitposting. But yeah, I mean, we can probably change into something more real. I mean, well, I guess I don't even know how is it that we transition when we're normally speaking. I guess it simply stands by saying something like, Anarchia, what do you think about this particular thing? So, Anarchia.
Well, I mean, if you
opinion?
mention something in particular, yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah. So basically, can you give us your opinion, Anarchia, on this thing that is to create content?
Sorry, am I misunderstanding? Like, what's the topic?
creating content.
Oh, creating content. That's such a vague general thing. Why don't you start? You start, and then I'll respond. Because I feel like you have a better idea of what direction you want to go with this topic.
Okay. I mean, in general, the most logical thing, I guess, is always to try to talk about something that is related to the experience. So I wouldn't want to talk about, in my personal case, that much about, I don't know, creating or written content, as I am not a writer, nor to a certain degree, it doesn't really happen that I am directly not a what is it? A video game player, but it still isn't a meal that I don't play that much. So in general, simply creating something, let's say, that people can enjoy watching, whatever it is, because in that sense, as you said before, in my case, I don't play video games in my channel, but there is still a correlation between what I do and what you do in the sense of creating content, no?
Yeah. We both create content. Yeah, I agree.
So the
No. You finish. If you're not done.
I mean, basically, so the idea is that there is the basic outline as to where we can try to grasp it from, no?
Okay. I don't know. That's a bit of a hard thing, because I personally don't think I really create content. Because it's hard. I don't want to say it's hard to necessarily define what content is, but I feel like everyone has their own idea of what's good and bad content, right? Like, because people do watch my stuff, although I couldn't exactly, give you a 100% concrete reason of why and what I'm doing well. Because you can argue that you can argue different reasons for what actually constitutes making content, right? Like you could argue there are people who argue nowadays that React content isn't content, for example, because you aren't adding anything new. And you could potentially make that same argument for my gameplay streams, because technically speaking, you're not it's an experience you could obviously do on your own. I'm not making the video game, but I guess it's still entertaining. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, because I personally don't really know what I'm doing ever. So I'm probably not the best equipped to answer this.
Yeah, but I mean, in the sense of simply creating content is one thing. If it after you created that particular content, it can be perceived as entertaining or not, does it really lie in your hands completely? I will argue more like you have the possibility of seeing if what you're creating is more good enough, so that by having all the additions itself, as in a well-edited video, is no matter which type of content you do, is going to do better than one that has no effort behind. But aside from factors like that one, for example, simply playing a video game can be boiled down to the same thing, because everybody is trying to finish the game. What matters in reality is also the personality that is behind the streamer itself, in your case, no? Because you have your own way to play, basically. Even if it is similar to somebody else, I will argue that unless you are pushing for that, it will be impossible for you to do literally the same playthrough that somebody else did.
That's true.
So, by saying that, it is that we can kind of, I wouldn't simply say conclude, but more like observe and see that every single one has their way of creating something, no? And by more, or yeah, not simply going there, but also taking into consideration that everybody has their own definition, where does it lie to say which thing is good and which thing is bad?
I mean, then it comes down to personal taste, I would say.
But for example, can we say that there is something that even if there is a personal side, almost anybody will call good or not, for example?
Pardon, can you repeat that? Sorry?
Taking into consideration that it is born from personal taste, although it comes from there, could there be something that everybody will say is good or not?
I feel like hypothetically you could say that. Because like there could be a piece of content that is like so revolutionary and so life-changing that like you can argue that everyone should consider it good. But that's like very hypothetical. And in the same vein, it's like very hypothetical to say there's a possibility of something being so bad that everyone hates it. But I would say generally no. There will always be enough of a difference in taste. Because you can, again, while it's a matter of like personal preference, right? Like one person may not like video essays, for example, but you can still it's still possible that you can like understand the intent and appreciate it for being well done, even if it doesn't suit your taste. Because like what's a good example?
I don't know about you, but for example, I think somebody like Summon Insult, the first video of him that I watched, I never had an interest before that real, that I will say, of watching speedrun explanations. So I think something like that is a good base about somebody creating in that particular case, for example, content that is enjoyable by no matter who it is.
I mean, I think you can argue that while it is enjoyable by different people, for example, like I personally, I don't play like the retro games he plays or like he discusses the speedrun progression of, and I don't actually care about speedrunning either. It's just that like I appreciate his style and whatnot, and I think it's like interesting enough to watch in the background. But it's still very possible that you there are some people who would still at the end of the day not consider it good content just because of their taste. Because there are some people who like no matter what will still just won't acknowledge something as good content for one reason or another. And that's just people being weird.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you always have on the other side, sadly, the almost horde that is trying to constantly discredit whatever it is that they are creating, no? Or that somebody else is creating, sorry. And I will even say, you can't truly do anything against them, because no matter which kind of content you produce, they're still going to be complaining. Because you can see it anywhere, no? That whatever it is that somebody does, it gets criticized or roughly treated, more than simply criticized, roughly treated, for simply existing, not simply for being particularly good, particularly bad, simply for existing. So, I don't know, maybe, yeah, I would say, in a sense, what I always think is what matters the most is to try and create something that you can also enjoy, no?
Well, yeah, that's the most important thing, because if you don't personally enjoy what you're doing, then it's very easy to get burnt out.
But
no, sorry, you finish.
No. Say what?
No, I was gonna say, there can be some external factors that can, make you still create something you don't personally enjoy. Like, I know a lot of people with content creation, they do have that mindset where if you don't enjoy it, then like there's no point. But there are people who do like treat it like a job, in the sense that like they are willing to deal with their lack of enjoyment over it, for like that other factor. So, for example, I don't think anyone enjoys like, it'd probably be very rare for someone to actually say like, oh, I love being an accountant or whatever. They just do it for like money, for example. You could have someone like, I can't say like Summoning Salt feels this way, but like there's probably YouTubers who don't like what they do, but they enjoy like the money that comes with it or the fame that comes with it, or like, whatever other factors.
Yeah.
So to me, it's
But
not 100% necessary. Just like looking at like everyone as a whole. Personally speaking, I could not. I couldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it.
yeah, but I don't know if it happens for everybody, but I will argue that to a certain degree, everybody ends up finding, let's say, their niche about what is it that they like to create, no? Because
I wouldn't say that necessarily. There's some people who never find a niche and just don't create content. There's some people who just give up on creating content. Just some people just find it's just not for them.
Also, wait, Arke.
Yes.
Your friend is here. Your Toma or Tama.
Yeah, I can see that. I have your chat open, by the way.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
That's a question you should ask him.
But you already know how to say it, and I can have literal.
I don't think I've ever said it. I don't think I've actually ever said it on stream. There are some things I've just never said. Have I?
Okay. Hello. I can see it even properly, Tama. Hello, Tama. Welcome. Sorry for that. But well, I mean, what I wanted to say is also, in a sense, there is another layer to what you are saying, that I believe sometimes you start by doing what you like, no? But when you get big enough, what you like changes from the content itself to the money that you make from it. Sometimes.
No, that's very common, yeah. You do hear that a lot for big content creators, that they just get burnt out. It's just not like worth doing to them anymore, or worth doing for them rather. I can't think of a good example. Because I think you've seen the whole thing on YouTube recently where a bunch of big creators started to leave. Be it like Matt Pat from the Game Theorists or Stampy, like the Minecraft guy. But it's not necessarily out of boredom per se, or being burnt out for the money, because they give other reasons. I can't really come up with a specific example of someone who's given up just because of the whole money thing, for example.
Well, I mean, let me think. I will say not that they. Well, I can see why it is hard to find a real example, because when you are so big, also it happens that you can fall back into what you were doing before. So you really don't have a necessity over completely letting go of what you were doing. You simply change the format of it, no? Like, let's say you started by playing video games.
Yes.
After that, you moved into creating video essays about particular video games because you saw that they were the most profitable thing. And after, I don't know, let's say after hitting 500,000 and seeing that consistently all of your videos at the very least get 1 million views, you decide to swap into, or to go back rather, into what you were doing before, gameplay.
I mean, that has happened. I think I've seen it. I can't think of a specific example, but I have seen it happen. No, I don't know if that's. I feel like that's not necessarily the norm though. That's more like an edge case, like a fringe case where they were able to hit that success and then also maintain it for their return to their original content.
Yeah, but to a certain degree also almost. I argue that everybody, and at the same time, not everybody, but simply those who made it, all fall into that category. Because to make it means to be capable of getting somewhere. And to have those numbers means that you're already, or to have the numbers to completely change the content that you were making before, to make the first change is already an incredibly big risk. Even if you believe that what you are doing is potentially more beneficial, I would say, because you're still taking what is your personality and risking or betting that your personality is going to properly flow with whatever new what is it, flavor of the month kind of video appears, no? So I will say, or not that I will say, I always think, for example, how the big majority of streamers, when we talk about it, or not the majority, those who are famous, those who are on the top, all of those, or at least I did, in that I can accept that as a problem. Here on the Spanish community, it is pretty normal to see that all of those who are very big didn't start as streamers. They swap into streaming later on, but they started doing something completely different from streaming.
That's really interesting because I didn't realize it was such a big difference, or like that's not something I've ever noticed in the English community. At least not like something I've paid a ton of attention to.
I mean, I think I I don't really see. I have to think about it because I think okay. One of the few examples that I can properly name is the people, and this you know about, those who made league content when it was very early. Most of the people made YouTube content also, and made edits and clip compilations and pro plays and similar stuff from their content. Even if they streamed in some cases, the most of their fame was brought up by those short videos, not by the 10-hour streams.
Sorry, I'm just giving. I'm just like trying to think of an example because I admittedly actually don't watch that much league content, believe it or not.
Nowadays I don't watch it, but for example, Shaklon, didn't you even found that guy?
No, sorry.
Damn. Tobias Fate?
Yes, I love Tobias Bit. Yeah.
Okay. Tyler?
I don't watch Tyler. I don't watch Tyler one. Sorry.
But you know about him.
Yes, I know of him. Yes.
Well, who was the most famous? There was this very famous supporter. Yellowstar, I think it was. I don't remember exactly, but there are some cases basically about people who got famous not only for streaming but also for the content that they were able to produce from their streaming, I would say. And those, at some point, almost seem more dedicated to producing that particular thing more than utilizing those resources later on to refocus their content back into what they wish to keep making. That is, in a sense, I would say, because what you said is true. Most of the people in the big leagues gets burned out, but at the same time, they swap because they notice that they are getting burned out, and they avoid it by swapping. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure what to say here.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm not the big philosophical guy I make myself out to be.
Oh no, it was all a roll. It was trolling. It was a la facade. This is so over, guys. Can we get some powers in the chat? Also, sorry for not saying anything. Hello, Strepanso. Welcome, welcome. Sorry for not saying anything. I mean, but okay, going into something that you might as well know. Do you know about people who at the very least got born off from making content?
Dude, I feel like I should be able to name people, but off the top of my head, I'm struggling to come up with a specific example. I don't know if it's necessarily burnout, because a big example of someone quitting recently would be the game theorist, like Matt Pat from the Game Theorist, if you're familiar. It's not necessarily burnout because he does mention enjoying it. It's just that like he doesn't want to do it as much over something else, which is spending time with his family. And like I feel like you could argue that is a form of burnout.
Well, yeah, in a sense. Also, it is important to be present in your family. I mean, you have a role to play inside of the family that you decide to get yourself into. So, I don't really see something negative. Yeah, but I don't know. Have you watched tinier content creators?
No, not actually. When it comes to YouTube content, I do tend to watch. I would consider them bigger, like in perspective, like in relative to streamers I watch. When it comes to streaming, I enjoy watching like very small creators, like less than 10 other people watching, for example. But when it comes to YouTube content, I very much enjoy more curated popular content.
But curated by the masses.
Yes, yeah. I don't think that's a problem. I feel like arguably there's some popular content that I don't necessarily enjoy. Like I personally don't enjoy watching Mr. Beast content, right? It's just not for me. But it's still very popular at the end of the day. I think most of the stuff I watch, like I very rarely would ever watch a video that has like less than 1,000 views, for example. If I'm gonna watch something, I do like to use the view count as like a bit of a deciding factor on whether or not I should watch it or not. Just because you only have so much time in your day, and as a result, I would rather have it spent on something better. It's like I would make a comparison to like games and game reviews. Like you could potentially have like a favorite game that's rated like 6 out of 10, for example, but you would rather take a shot on watching or playing a game that's like rated 8 out of 10 all across the board, right? That's how I view watching smaller content. I'm much more like lenient and forgiving because I enjoy smaller streams because that's a whole nother experience. But no, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay. But, for example, have you never, or have you yet not found yourself seeing somebody quit?
Small, like YouTube creators?
I will say in this case, streamers. Then.
Oh, streamers. I think I've seen like one or two. Bigger streamers? I don't watch bigger streamers, so I can't really talk about that.
But I mean, yeah.
Like I think it's pretty normal to see smaller streamers quit just because there's less stakes for them.
But let's say like this. Where are you sitting right now? In the sense of you know that you are not going to quit.
I don't have any intention of quitting, like absolutely none.
But what are the reasons for that?
Well, I mean, I personally enjoy what I'm doing. It's like asking, and it's not like it's bad for me, right? You could say something like, "Oh, why aren't you quitting? Why aren't you quitting smoking, for example?" And like, you couldn't really give like a good, like a super great reason, right? Like, arguably, you could say like, "Oh, I'm not quitting smoking cigarettes because the withdrawal symptoms will be like worse or something." When it comes to streaming, there's like no negatives that I can personally name, and therefore it's like, why would you, for what reason would you do it then?
So the question is, Arke,
Yes.
what would you say is the difference between you and somebody else that quits?
I can't speak for. The thing is, it's hard to speak for other people, so it'd just be like me generalizing. Like, it could be a whole number of factors. You could quit just because you don't have the time for it, or you just realize you don't have the passion for it. I think very early on, you do come to that realization of whether or not you like doing it or not. But it's just simply,
But
like taste wise, they just realized it wasn't for them. I would say. I think that's the biggest thing for most people.
but okay. But also based on the knowledge that, or I mean, it might feel negative. Let's simply say it. What will you be doing with your free time? Is if this is still a hobby at the end of the day, what will you utilize your time if it weren't on this instead of creating something that, while feeling as rewarding as, I don't know, watching a series, playing a video game by yourself, also has the side of knowing that you're doing something interesting, let's say, to entertain others, not only yourself, no?
Pardon? Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
As in the concept of, or
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was
Sorry,
saying.
I'm not understanding the concept you're trying to get across.
Okay. Let's say, what is the difference, or what is the factor that makes you, or tries to make you, quit something that is not only entertaining for you, let's say. It is, let's put an example properly. You have a child. Why would you decide to abandon a child?
So that's a very extreme. That's an extreme that you would jump to. You would abandon a child. Well, it depends on the situation. Because like abandon a child is like a very vague statement too. It could be like a survival situation where you have to abandon the child for your own like survival, right? Like, possibly I could prioritize my own survival over like a random child, right? But like you could also argue, or you could also like phrase it another way, like giving up a child for adoption or something.
Okay.
In that sense, like you would argue you'd do that because maybe you have compassion for the child and you think that you can't offer a better life or something.
But let's see it from this perspective. You create your own counter, no? You are the one who makes it be what it is actually. And because you are the one putting it together, you are, in a sense, in our case, the father of that child, no? It isn't that it is a random child, the one you picked up.
Yes, yeah, I agree. You are the father of your content, yeah.
Why would you abandon something that you like? If you, let's say it from this perspective, you decided to take the responsibility of having it existing, no? What is the reason behind leaving it be? If you're going to keep living, and most of the time doing all the things that you were doing, in this case before streaming, but in this case you simply don't hit the go live button anymore.
I mean, it would just have to be something else taking priority, I guess. That's like the one thing I would say is like the defining factor for a lot of people. For almost almost everyone, I would say, would be willing to give that up if something else took priority. But that's such a vague statement that it's not really saying anything.
And can I make a kind of personal question then?
Sure, go for it.
And you're happy with your child so far?
Yes. Are you happy with yours?
Well, I mean, yeah, but in the sense of seeing it as something that has, in your case, for example, even required some type of investment, I would guess. Do you see it as completely worth it?
I would say so, yeah. Like I have invested a bit into it, like both time, money and other factors, right? But the fact that I don't personally regret it, I would say it makes it valuable, right? Because I mean, everyone values things differently, right? A poor person's gonna like value $10 more than a millionaire, right? In my case, what I've sacrificed isn't gonna be the same as what someone else has sacrificed for their own stuff. But what I've sacrificed isn't something I regret. Like there have been decisions that I've regretted, right? Like I've regretted, spending $80 on a game that I played like one time, right? But like this is not something I ever look back and like think, wow, I regret doing this. The fact that the thought has never come to mind would be like the one definitive answer for me.
So, in that sense, do you think everybody could find it to be like that if they were to try and search for that focus when creating content overall?
No, I feel like you can still argue that that's still not the case for everyone, just because there's always going to be like there can always just be one simple like factor that prevents someone from liking something. Like you could argue, or like you could use that as same point, like if you looked hard enough, could you find a reason to like soccer or something, right? Like I personally don't like soccer, and I don't think any amount of time would necessarily make me want to enjoy like soccer. Like I don't think it'd be worth it to even go on that journey to search for a way to find it. Like it would have to take a lot for me to just randomly decide to like soccer, and like the time commitment to find that desire isn't worth as much as me pursuing something I already know I like, is what I think. It's very possible that again people just find out that content creation isn't for them, and ultimately they just give up. Because yes, they could put a ton of time and try every single avenue and whatnot, but I think most people are content with the fact that if you don't like something right away, it's better for them to pursue something else.
But in a sense, doesn't it also kind of happens that you find, or let's say like this, different wording. Did you come here expecting it to be so entertaining?
No. To be honest with you, I did come into it with like some like hesitations, like because again, I have no idea what people wanted to watch and like what people would enjoy. I just kind of hit go live. Okay, I'll be honest. So I did go in expecting like, well, not expecting. I went in without expecting anything, to be honest. So like possibly like there's a world, there's like a parallel universe or something where it didn't go as well as I thought it would, and therefore I just quit then and there. So again, I'm gonna keep making game comparisons because that's the thing I'm most familiar with. Like, if this just happened to be a game that I happened to play and enjoyed, but there's like a, it's possible there was like a possibility it ended up being something I didn't enjoy, and then it just be something I gave up. And I think that's fine. Like that's just a thing that happens for people. Sometimes it just doesn't suit your taste right away, and you just give up on it and pursue something else.
But let's say like this, from the you who has now find it to be so interesting, don't you think that those others part of you who will have decided to give up on it took a wrong decision even?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I'm not someone who takes a look. I don't put too much thought into what ifs in my personal life. I usually accept things for how they've happened, and I don't put too much thought into like the what if and think too hard about it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, possibly, you know, making that decision, like with the knowledge I have now, that like, yeah, I would think, wow, he made the wrong choice, but that obviously hasn't happened, so it's hard for me to exactly like, it's hard for me to fairly judge that, like, that what if, because you know, hindsight or foresight, like both of them are obviously really important, but they give a skewed like image of everything. Like going back to my own personal life, right? I always like to bring up my funny story of how I was really stupid for selling my CS:GO skin before it became like $2,000, right? But that's not really a fair thing to look at, just because I, you know, at that moment I wouldn't have had that knowledge, and the option I pursued was the one that gave me the most enjoyment at the time.
I think I have a question.
Go ask away.
Do you think so far what you found can also be on that realm? Or is it something that you can really say you're enjoying without feeling that somehow in the future we are going to see it was not the correct thing to spend your time on?
I mean, it's possible that in the future I look back and say it wasn't worth it, but like that, again, I couldn't fairly say that. Like there would always be that factor that with hindsight you could say that, but in the moment I made the best choice that like I knew, like of what I'd known. Like what I know right now is that I enjoy this, and therefore it's the best decision.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, wait. A real question is, we're kind of getting too deep on the sense of you yourself. Would you like to go back into more general stuff?
I would prefer talking about more general stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I guess, yeah, almost everybody has the capacity of seeing and finding out how they can create a conviction about what they are doing, no? And it ends up being part of their own journey to do it. Because sadly, even if we have the same tools, the ways in which we arrive to the same conclusions isn't even remotely the same. So, I will guess, in a sense, having the possibility of, and in this case personally, saying that what one does is enjoyable end up being truly important because you're kind of securing the capacity of doing it for longer periods of time, or if not simply longer periods of time, at the very least doing it for the enjoyment itself that it brings to you doing it, let's say, no?
Sorry, I'm not understanding. Can you elaborate or
Rephrase?
phrase it differently?
Okay. Having the capacity of observing that what you're doing is enjoyable, is important, and properly seeing also how others have a hard time on it gives you, I wouldn't say simply an advantage, because it will mean that you're in a race or something like that. It's simply lets you see that you're doing better, let's say.
Yes, I think having that perspective would mean that you do better. If I'm understanding what you're saying correctly.
Yeah. But, and now I think we can properly move into the second part, is how would somebody address the problem of, if they are noticing that what they are creating isn't really the most entertaining thing, how will they go about addressing that problem? As in, basically referring to the idea of truly enjoying, I guess, yourself, what you create also for others, no?
I mean, this is not like obviously the best mindset or best answer, but like it could just be a simple, like one simple answer would be to give up, right? If you just don't enjoy it right away. But I don't know, to make yourself enjoy that. I don't know, it's hard because I can't personally speak on I need to force myself to enjoy something or need to find that enjoyability because it just kind of came to me. So it's hard for me to speak on that.
And will you say the big majority of the people has the capacity of doing it? Of simply seeing that they are kind of a natural to what they do?
I couldn't answer that.
Okay.
It's very hard for me to answer that because again, there's if you were just to talk about like Twitch streaming as the example, right? There's such a high volume of people.
Yes.
It's like very very difficult to like speak about that generally, especially with my lack of knowledge. Like it would just be me like purely spitballing. Like I could argue on both sides just because I lack so much information.
Mm-hmm. But let's say like this then. You say also that it ends up being an important thing to realize that there isn't any real obligation about continuing with what you're doing, no? But if you, on the other hand, have the desire to keep creating that, or to keep creating anything, then how will you try, or how should anybody try to rework what they are doing, let's say?
I couldn't answer that either. I don't know. That's a very hard question to answer. Because if you enjoy doing something, but then you're forced to rework it, it's hard for me to answer that. Like I'm not in that position to really speak about this. To be honest with you, I do you have an answer?
But I mean more like, I think it doesn't really have to come from the side of you liking it. Because if you were to like it, you wouldn't have the necessity of reworking it, no? More like, you see that you're starting, kind of go tracing back to what we said. You start to see that the videos you make are no more interesting. Or are no more something that even to you makes you wonder what the next one is going to be about, no? So in that sense, the question ends up being, how can you rekindle that flame, I will guess.
I wouldn't know. To be honest with you, this is one of those things that I would have to figure out through my own like trial and error.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can probably try to give a kind of explanation just in case. Something like, most of the times, what I comprehend happens is, sadly, one notices the desire to keep doing something, and it is born not truly from the real interest of keep making it, but rather from the abandonment that represents. Also, good night, Vita. Yeah, good night. I guess to notice how you can properly perform, and even more, to properly enjoy something means to accept that at some point it is going to become unenjoyable, no? Or do you think it is possible to find an unending amount of entertainment on anything?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, question is simply, do you think a human could find something that is capable of providing infinite amount of entertainment?
No, I don't think that's possible.
Also, welcome, Pongatiev. Welcome.
Because I'm a bit biased. Oh, sorry.
No. Say.
No, I'm a bit biased in that regard because I personally get bored of stuff very easily. Because I'm the kind of person who will like flip flop between like games, anime, manga. Like I go through that stuff very fast. So it's very hard to think of something that could possibly be like 100% forever entertaining, especially when you consider the fact that as you age, your tastes are going to change too, right? Like if we went back in time, like even a year ago, I was like a whole different person just in terms of my interests. So I personally can say I don't think it's possible, but maybe like hypothetically speaking, there could be something that provides infinite like content, but for something to provide infinite like content and entertainment, it would have to be like infinite in and of itself. I think, like let's say AI gets like advanced enough, right, that it can like infinitely create like anything. You could argue that AI can create an infinite amount of like entertainment because it encompasses like an infinite amount of stuff. But like I think that's a cop out answer because I feel like the thing you're looking for is obviously like not an infinite thing in and of itself. If that makes any sense, if what I'm saying makes any like sense at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand it. Before that, welcome, Claudia Cacho. Hello. But I guess I don't see why that wouldn't be true. I mean, you need to have something infinite to find any particular infinite quality inside of it, no? You can't. For example, let's say like this. You might as well have the chance of entertainment realm. Keep yourself infinitely entertained simply playing League, for example, as long as you always try to play completely different stuff, because the possible amount of combinations end up driving you towards that amount of discovery. But it doesn't really mean that it is completely infinite, no?
I mean,
Because
I would argue that like League is not the best example because you can just get bored of the core gameplay loop. Like one day you're playing, X character, but next day you're playing Y character. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're probably going to get bored of the core gameplay loop, which is going to be like the biggest issue.
Yeah, but I mean, to have something infinite that the concept itself isn't anything particular is, or might as well be, not having really anything, no? What can you have that it isn't defined? You can't have anything that isn't defined. I mean, well, I mean, in a sense, yeah, I kind of believe that what Klondike says is true. You can see art as one form of infinite entertainment, but okay, Arke, have you ever tried to create art?
No, I am not an artist.
Okay. Wait. Don't you think that what you're doing on streaming is an art?
No.
What is it?
That's hard to say. It's hard for me to define it per se because I have trouble even understanding what I'm doing like 100%. Like I couldn't really give you a definitive answer as to what I think other people are getting out of my stuff and what it really entails. Because I can argue that certain YouTube videos I've watched are like art, but maybe this is just like my like skewed perspective on like what I think is art. I think it's just more so that I have like a different definition of art. to me, I think art like requires I want to say much more effort and like production value than what I can say I put in. Like I feel like personally speaking, I couldn't compare my stream to like Da Vinci's Da Vinci's painting, for example.
But you can compare any stream to that?
Yes, like comparably, I would say a video essay like on a video game is probably
But
lower than that. But I feel like my
we're
yeah
talking about streamings.
yeah
Can
yeah
you
yeah
compare any particular
yeah.
streaming to that?
I think streaming. I think at least my streams are so far
Mhm.
below that I wouldn't consider it art.
Oh, perfect. But can you find an example that is capable of fitting the amount of artistical value that has a Da Vinci?
Well, not to that level, but there is like a level. Like sorry, my scale is like so let's say Da Vinci's painting is like 10 on the scale, right? And then let's say something else is slightly lower on the scale. I would say mine is so far like down below that I wouldn't consider it important. Like what's a good example? It's like how if someone asked you for stuff you owned, right? You don't consider like a grain of salt as something you own because it's so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things compared to like something more important you own, right? Like I think value wise, the grain of sand or the grain of salt you have versus like the TV you own is like is too much of a gap that it's like not comparable. But I personally value other things enough that they don't become inconsequential in terms of like being entertained. I'm not sure if my example makes any sense. I'm very bad at explaining things.
I only have a question. I mean, would you say that what you are or what you are creating is a grain of salt, basically?
Personally, yes. I think it could be better. I think there could be more that could be done to make it above that grain of salt. Like one of the what's a really like important like very good stream. I think Twitch plays Pokemon as an example of like a very very important like stream in terms of like artistry and like entertainment, right? Like that is like a defining moment in like Twitch and like streaming history, for example. And I don't think my streams compared to that. I think in comparison, I think that would be a closer comparison rather than comparing my stuff to like Da Vinci's art, right? But comparing my stuff to Twitch plays Pokemon is probably like a better example here. I don't think mine is good enough to be at that level. But this is like I want to say a very specific me problem where I have higher standards compared to or higher standards on what I want my stuff to be.
But I mean, okay, let me also encompass what Klondike say because I think I can properly add it here. Everybody has their process, their creative process, no?
Yes.
Would you, for example, say that somebody, somebody like, for example, Da Vinci created his final work and said, okay, this is the best thing that I could make?
No, I think he definitely judges his own work. There are examples of many artists, especially very famous artists who have judged themselves. Like there have been what's an example? There have been examples of like famous artworks where they'll analyze the actual like underlying painting and they'll see like mistakes and like whatnot being covered up. What's an example? Um, there's a painting called The Garden of Earthly Delights, I think, and in that painting, underneath the layers of paint, there are signs that like a whole different version of like Jesus was in that painting. But like that's a very specific example. I just happen to know. So I think everyone judges themselves in that way, even the best of the best, if that's what you're asking.
Mm-hmm. But Arkia, let's say like this. And don't you think even more in the case of something that is like streaming itself, or yeah, basically streaming itself, don't you consider that it needs to have a part of painting and repainting, basically? Recreating, reconstructing, analyzing, stretching what you already did, taking it from another perspective, sometimes deleting older parts. Not literally, but do you get what I try to say?
No, sorry, I didn't understand. I'm not understanding what you're trying to get across.
Okay. Let me say it like in the process itself of streaming. Wouldn't you say that, for example, the one who wants to create something enjoyable has to accept also that maybe part of the process is to see that it is not still good enough and that you can always make it better, but also that you need to value which things are also importantly well done right now.
No, you definitely have a point there. It is important to consider the good aspects, just so that you don't like give up and you're not too harsh on yourself.
But for the sake of persevering with your efforts, not simply for the sake of, because you might as well find some benefit if you were to notice how good you are, for the sake of creating even more. Is it a line for you, or do you say it is not necessary?
I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I'll be honest.
Okay, let's say like this. In a in a perfect case, do you believe somebody, if they were to ignore their their inner monologue of I am good at this or not, and simply, I guess, focus on what they lack, how do you think they will perform? Differently, better, worse?
I think that's important. I think having that mindset is important because too much negativity would just cause you to give up.
Mm-hmm. And on this example, how will you give it the positivity that it needs?
I don't know.
Yes or no? But you have found it on yourself, that positivity?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Very fine then. So, I mean, in a sense, yeah, it is very comprehensible that almost anybody should try it at the very least to be conscious about how much time, how much interest, and even more how much, I will say, to a point, love they are dedicating to what they are creating, no? And even more, taking into consideration what we talked about before, it is what you decided to bring forth into this world. It isn't completely comparable, but it is understandable to put it into perspective of that of a child. And because you have this particular gift that is to create something, let's say, it doesn't become of you to destroy it out of nowhere. Because you can also observe how beneficial it is for you to have it being created, no? So, how would you say that somebody can try to progress with what they have already once they are capable of finding ways to not get destroyed by the negativity?
Can I hear your answer for this first?
Okay. I guess something important is if you want to really progress, you need to have a clear objective, as in the sense of the one who comes to any particular scenario with a not completely sketch plan in which if one single thing were to fail, you start to come to crumble, but rather with an wider outline of ideas about maybe I want to go for this, and maybe if this particular thing want to be successful, I would wish to keep progressing over this other side. So, in general, apply to this case, for example, what we're talking about here, streaming. If you were to try and stream, if you were to try and create content, the idea should be to be capable of putting a plan together that might as well, yeah, as Klondike says, having a clear objective that allows you also to know where is it that you are actually standing on, because not having the chance of doing so might as well, in a sense, it isn't that I believe. You can very well experience that by yourself. When you're lost, you don't know how good or bad you're performing. So starting to realize where is it that you're standing, therefore having an objective ends up being a good way to not be so lost and not be so dropped in all of that desperation.
Sorry, I'm still here. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, no problem.
I hate to give this cop out answer again, but I just don't know what to say. This is just something I never put too much thought into.
But, okay. But let's say like this. Yes or no? But you personally have objectives.
Yes, but I feel like it's more vague than what other people have.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it is more or less vague. You have them. That is the important part of this.
Yes, I have an
In,
objective.
in your case, why did you decide to come with an objective towards something?
I came in with an objective because I think objectives are important to keep you motivated to do something.
In that same case, would you say that it is necessary to have an objective then? For example, in this case, to stream.
I think it's necessary to continue, but I think you could go in without an objective. I think it's important to stick around though. If that makes any sense.
Kind of. In which way stick around?
Sorry, you cut out there for me, I think.
Yeah. I think I saw it. In which way stick around?
Like, if you don't have a clear objective or any objective at like any point, then I don't think there's any way you would ever like continue doing like something, right? Like eventually you would either develop an objective or you would realize you have no objective and therefore stop doing it. Like I can't give a good example here, but like I think for everything that everyone does, it could be like very spur of the moment. But I think spur of the moment things are just very much, one time things and they don't like stick around unless you eventually find an objective that you like get out of it. I argue the most base objective for anything would be seeking for novelty, perhaps. Yeah. I think that's like a very easy like that's probably something I overlooked here. Like I think that is such a like basic generic like objective that I didn't even consider an objective. It's just like you do it to kill time or do it for fun, but eventually you would either develop a better, more comprehensive objective or stop doing it entirely.
I mean, I think I might be wrong, but I think we can put what you're saying. This isn't the best example, but is one that might as well fit. It is as if you were to find yourself minute 5 on the middle of a game on League, being level 1 on any given lane. You haven't farmed, you haven't killed anybody, and you might as well only be dying. It is in that moment that you realize that either you have already lost and you have to abandon, or you have to start farming, start supporting somebody, start playing any particular role. Not simply going to a lane and existing there, as one will say, no?
Yes, yeah, that's a good example. I'd say either give up or do something else.
So yeah, in that sense, why? let's trace back. Why would it be, in that case, negative to encourage somebody to try and take a different perspective? If sometimes it simply happens that you find yourself lost, while still maybe deciding to continue.
I'm sorry, you lost me again.
Okay. Because let me say like this. You not say like this. You basically said before, you argued that the easiest response to somebody feeling that out of nowhere or after some time they might as well not be enjoying what they are doing is to simply quit. In this case, tracing back into the game of League, you are still early enough to reconsider how you are doing things, and you already notice your error. And it isn't late enough so that everything is destroyed. You can come back from that error, and you can make things better. Don't you think it is possible to, in this case, gain progress after realizing that what you're doing isn't enjoyable, yet you still have a desire to keep creating something?
I can understand where you're getting at it, but you're probably like talking to the wrong person about this, because like in my perspective, when it comes to that in League, I give up very easily. Like when it comes to League specifically, which is your example,
Yeah.
if that happens, I very much give up. Like I hate to admit it, because like, but I'll completely admit it. When it comes to like that case and Counter-Strike, I used to be known in my friend group for just leaving games because I was that quick to give up. So in my case, I think I'm giving a bit of a like perspective wise. I think you feel that way. I think the way you feel is a lot different from how I feel, because again, I'm very quick to give up. So in my case, giving up is much more of a real option than like I think what you're trying to argue here.
But the question is, in this case then, why quitting will be a better option than to try?
Because quitting could potentially lead you to more enjoyment by being able to choose something else.
And how it is that you can know that trying could not lead you to enjoyment?
Well, I think it's more like a sort of path, if that makes any sense, right? Let me. How do I illustrate this?
I mean, I don't know. I think we can use Agi, I think it was a name. The thing which you can draw with. If you want to illustrate something. But yeah, I mean, so far it is understandable what you say.
Okay. Here's my very crappily drawn example. So
Okay. Show it,
so
send it,
let's say it's a
Where?
timeline, right? Left is the present, and then like right is like the future, right? So as you go through time, that's how the thing goes. So let's say going down is like being sad, and then going up is like happiness and enjoyment, right? If green is quitting, right? I think green has the potential of leading you to happiness like right away because you can do something else,
Yeah.
right? But I think red,
Yeah.
why you mentioned this is the potential of also leading to happiness. If you're already not enjoying something to the point of wanting to quit, then I think it's still going to lead to more negativity before the possibility of enjoyment and happiness. So I think it's very much still a real option to consider that instant like gratification of quitting something you don't enjoy right at the moment. Does that make any sense? Like, if we go back to the League game example, I know personally that like I would get a lot of fun, I don't know, watching an anime episode instead of continuing a game that feels lost, right? So if I quit the game right then and there, and then I watched anime instead, I would get that instant gratification rather than having to deal with that negativity that has already brewed to the point of me wanting to quit. Because there's a possibility that staying in that game does give that spike of enjoyment and happiness after the fact because you won, but you don't get that instant. There's always going to be that dip, in my opinion, in my thought process. That is the big thing that stops people from taking into consideration that route. Does my point make any sense to you? I'm notoriously bad for explaining things.
I mean, I can understand it. I can. So, let me also for a second, because I was searching for it. Let me put it on screen. Your graphic.
Yeah. Sorry. Because without the graphic, it's a lot harder to understand.
Yeah. Where is it? Here. No. Here. There it is. There we have it. That graphic. That was the one he was using to exemplify. Yeah, I will guess. In a sense, it makes sense. At the end of the day, and well, also, yeah, what Klondike say is also very true. It is incredibly hard to articulate yourself on things that sometimes you have never really put some thought behind. So yeah, it is part of the process also to accept that it will take you some time to properly put it into words. But yeah, why? My question is, why will you pursue it so much, the instant gratification on this?
I think that's a weird question. To be honest with you, I think instant gratification is actually the normal thing people go for. If potentially both opportunities lead to the same amount of happiness, or well, you wouldn't know that because again, you can't predict the future, right? Like potentially you lose the league game and it's actually a downwards red line, right? But at least with instant gratification, you like have that guarantee, and therefore it provides a sort of safety net of cutting your losses, right? Like because potentially sticking with something you already don't enjoy is already like a gamble, if that makes any sense, versus picking like the safe like default route of giving up and doing something else you already know you enjoy. Because obviously I think in normal life you're always going to take those risks of doing something that might lead to either enjoyment or lack of enjoyment, but there's always that option of doing something else that guarantees enjoyment, which I think is the valuable option that people consider, and that's a reason why people are so so quick to quit something that could potentially bring them happiness later, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. On this idea in particular, how will anybody be really capable of finding any particular enjoyments over, I will even say almost anything, no? If they are so prone to live what they are trying for. As instantaneously as they see that it doesn't become so rewarding.
It's hard to say. I couldn't really tell you like how or why. It's just that in human life you do take both options at times. Just because I guess at some points people are willing to, or even through experience, people just know that taking that harder route is the choice they want to take at that moment. I really couldn't explain like the exact reasoning. You know, it's just a part of the human condition that I wouldn't be equipped enough to talk about. It's just a thing people do. Is all I can say. I couldn't give you the exact reason why or why not, why they don't do that.
Well, I mean, sorry. I almost hit the mic. But
yeah, Klondike and Fabricant have a good point here.
Yeah, I mean, Fabricant is really true. When you notice that you are pursuing the instant gratification, you also start to become aware about how incredibly deep you are in the whole of that particular. I don't know. Did you call it addiction or not? No, right?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
But you didn't call it an addiction, right?
Choosing instant gratification?
Yeah.
It could be an addiction, I suppose, yeah.
Okay. So, when you are in that deep in the whole of the addiction, you see how incredibly worrisome it is. But on the other side, I guess building up what Klondike says, the delayed gratification is a very important side of this whole process. At the end of the day, it really doesn't become of any value to abandon what they are trying to go for, as you always need to be constantly putting the effort and putting the work towards getting to a place in which you realize that what you're creating is enjoyable not only for you, but or not only for the actual you, but also for what is going to become of you in the future, no? Because at the end of the day, even if you never get to experience it in the actual present, you're coexisting with what is going to happen in the future. And you only have the past as a reference, but you also know that both of those things are observable, let's say. And if you were to renegade from the part that lies in seeing that as something real, I mean, that is when you might as well start to pursue a little bit more slowly that instant gratification, because at the end of the day, if you really don't see any other objective behind your efforts and behind your interest, why will you try to change it?
I think in the case of VTubing, or in the case of decision making in general, I think you're right that people do consider both options, and that's like an important part of the decision making process. But I think in life you make so many decisions that it could just be like by random chance, like how you're feeling that day, that you just happen to choose either the instant gratification path or the effort path, I guess. And you know, if it comes down to VTubing and streaming, rather, sometimes it's just as simple as that. It's just that in that day, like in that mood, you're just in the mood to choose that instant gratification, and it's as simple as like quitting right then and there.
Yeah, but I think one of the deepest examples that I can try to come up with is when you not simply find something interesting, but rather decide to go directly for the thing that you know the best is going to give you in the moment a reward, because the rest is kind of random, and because you might as well not want to risk what you have in the future, let's say. No?
Sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry that I
Okay.
keep doing this, but I'm just having trouble with this, especially with my
But,
my sleep deprivation.
I mean, it is no problem to me. I mean, I simply try to not exemplify too many things sometimes, because I believe that people is capable of following me. And I will even say it like this. I worry that if I over explain and yeah, and over exemplify things, you might as well feel like I am treating you as if you were less or something like that. So yeah, no problem.
No, not
Let
at all.
me
I'm actually that dumb, so.
yeah. So let me say like this. Basically, instead of making a play that will cost you to go for, let's say, 10 more minutes in the game without really knowing if you're going to win, even if maybe the capacity of winning only lies on how much you can keep properly playing, something that you should be capable of doing always. Instead of that, you decide to focus on the next minute that comes and not even try to defend your base. Let's say like that.
I'm sorry to say, but like you probably chose the worst guess possible for this.
But why? But why?
Dude, I'm just like incapable of thinking anymore. I'm sorry. I'm actually like
Wait.
so lost now.
Okay. Wait.
Yes,
Arca. For real, you're already too sleepy?
I genuinely am. Dude. I genuinely can't think of any answers anymore.
Okay. Wait.
Yes.
Arca. Now that you're in that zone, I have a question for you. Because I don't see it happening with the rest of the world. Don't you find that you are a little bit more creative when you're sleepy?
Did you cut out?
Probably. Don't you think that you're more creative when you're sleepy?
Sorry. You are actually cutting out on Discord for me. I don't know if that's happening
On
on your stream as well.
on No. On OBS I am checking it. Let me check Discord. Give me a second. No, I mean, what the fuck? No, neither on Discord nor on
Okay, it might
OBS.
have been
I
on
don't
my
know.
end then. Sorry, I heard you say
Yeah.
little bit or something little, and then
Mhm.
I did not catch anything after.
Don't you think that your creativity increases a little bit when you're sleepy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's arguably, I would argue both. That I am more creative in some ways when tired and less creative when tired, but in like different ways.
Mhm.
I think when I'm more tired, I'm less I think the more tired I am, the more I loosen up, if that makes any sense. And when I loosen up, I have I'm much more. I find that if I stream when tired, I become much more unhinged while sleepy, as compared to um if I'm like fully rested. But being fully rested means I can like think better and I have better ideas. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. And wait. Give me a second. What Fabricant says is very true. You also realize that, in a sense, the realization isn't that you don't need to sleep anymore, rather that you sometimes don't need to sleep that much. Because, for example, I don't know if it happens exactly with you, Arkia, but I know some people who likes to be streaming always sleepy, because it gives them a certain kind of edge that they realize is a rather welcomed spice to their streams. And on the other side, Arya, can you explain a little bit why you're so sleepy? Because it isn't that the topic is simply to out there.
Like
Uh,
like right at this moment, why I'm sleepy?
Yeah.
Oh,
The story that chat doesn't know,
oh,
basically.
I just generally have a hard time sleeping.
Yeah.
There's like
So
no
yeah.
there's like no like secret, like there's no, I don't suffer with like debilitating like nightmares or anything. I just like, the moment I get in bed, I kind of just lie there for like the next 3-4 hours. It's just that I just can't sleep enough. And then like the fact that I had to do something today, like I had to wake up for it, means that I was like forced to cut my sleep down even further. So like right now it's like 11 p.m. my time, but around that time I just get very sleepy and like very unproductive. Like I know for a fact that my thinking skills, um, be it in speaking or like game strategy, just in general, it's much more it's much lower than it would be if I were fully rested.
Yeah. So that's why at this point, one gets to really not get angry with Arkia when he gets sleepy. I mean, it is part of almost Arkia's personality. So yeah. But well, I mean, do we have any other questions just in case? Or would you simply like to close it up over here?
Um, I mean, if you have less, I want to say, I don't want to say heavy topics. If you have
Yeah.
less, if you have like more like fun, less serious topics, I can keep going. But it's up to you. I'll leave the call up to you. If you want to end the stream,
Well,
keep going.
we can always try to relax a little bit. I will want to search for some water if we are trying to go to do that, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, let me see.
I mean, it's completely up to you.
Because
If you have no other topics, then you can just call
yeah,
it here.
yeah. It. Mm, well, I mean, let's. It will be more responsible to let you sleep and also to
No,
to
no,
go
no, no, no,
and.
no. Don't misunderstand. Like I'm sleepy
Mhm.
right now, but there's like no way in hell I would actually fall asleep like until like 5 in the morning. I
What the fuck?
my dude, like my body just won't let me sleep until it's like completely like dead, until it shuts down.
Damn.
So I'm just gonna
I
be like
mean,
this for the next like few hours. Like
I mean, I can. I don't know. Mm, it happens that I am also a little bit sleepy, that's why.
I think it's like 1 in the morning for
But
you, right?
yeah, already. Almost, yeah, 1.5 almost. So yeah, and very crazy. I mean, both of us stream already, so the mental exertion that is sometimes to stream multiple times throughout the day or to be for many hours is very real. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I find
I
that
don't know.
effect is exacerbated when streaming. I feel like doing that requires much more like energy and like brain power than like any other thing.
Yeah, I am pretty sure. I haven't really tested that theory, but I am pretty sure in the future, people is going to see the same thing that happens with chess. Do you know about the amount of calories that chess players burn when they are playing chess?
I don't, but I'm gonna assume by how you word it, it's actually a significant amount, like more than like people would think, just because of how much thinking is going on, right?
Supposedly, it is on the highest degree in capacities. They end up burning as equal as somebody running a marathon.
Dude, I gotta become a chess player. What the hell?
So yeah, it is very interesting. I see it. I am pretty sure that in the future we're going to see how in some senses streaming is as mentally exerting as that. I don't think it is completely exerting because you really also see that not every part of streaming is tiring, and also for example the amount of laughter that happens throughout an stream is incredible. In, at least on mine, I know that I have. If I were to try and compile all of them, I have around 5 to 10 minutes of me simply laughing throughout the stream. So it isn't that you have a hard time the whole streaming session, let's say, but trying to talk and trying to create it properly is hard, let's say, and is mentally exerting. So yeah, I mean, it is enjoyable. Also, I don't know.
No. Even if you enjoy it, I think ultimately it still is going to be mentally draining. Like for me, at least, I enjoy it a lot, but I still find it like very draining energy wise, because I try to give like my 100% in like every aspect, both like the gameplay and like the entertaining side, right? If I were just playing a game by myself off stream, right? Like the truth is, I'd just be putting like X amount. I'd probably put like 40% of my energy into actually like trying like super hard, because like again, I'm just relaxing, right? But when it comes to this, I personally put a lot of energy into it, and therefore it's more draining, I would say. Even though it's fun, like that's the reason that would keep me going. But like, I would still come out of it more tired than spending that hour like any other way.
Well, I mean, obviously, because you also have the side of what you are doing requiring you to, let's say, micromanage a lot more stuff than even the most challenging game that you have ever played of League, at least in my case, because it isn't that you really are constantly doing all of the things all of the time, but the constant checking and the constant act of worrying, for example, okay, I am doing good here. Is this, for example, in my case, is internet even working properly? Worrying about stuff like that is mentally draining, I guess. But I mean, it is part of the process. If not, I don't think, in my case, I would be capable of enjoying it as much if it were to be go live and literally do nothing. Like, what is it that we do, for example, today?
Yeah, no, sorry. I have like a really bad habit. So whenever I speak to people in real life, I tend to like nod my head, right? I like nod my head, and that's like usually a sign for them to keep going, and that I understand. But like in an online call, obviously, like that's not happening. So like you can't even like, so like to you, it just looks like I'm just like sitting there silently. So sorry about that.
Well, I mean, if you had the, or if I had your model and I saw you moving your head, I could understand, maybe. But
yeah.
maybe it was my error to not configure that in that way. Maybe, you know? I think it has it, no? Live 2D?
Live 2D has, pardon, what? The nodding?
Is something that allows me to see your model.
Oh, yes, yeah. We could have done that actually. I forgot to mention it because I did it once before. There is a way. I'll show you next time. It might be useful for any other collab stuff you ever do in the future.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, obviously, why not? And also the possibility for you to be less non-verbal.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, don't worry about it. Well, I mean, yeah, overall, it is always nice. Well, I don't know.
It sounds like you're reaching your end as well.
Maybe. It might be. But, I mean, I am trying to think about something non-personal to ask you. In that sense, that is also why I am trying to not say anything. Because I have questions, I have like an infinite number of them, but going for the easy ones is not the thing that we want here. Let's... Arkia,
Yes.
what is your viewpoint on doing commissions for stuff?
I think that's fine. That's just normal. Personal opinion. I have to rely on that stuff more than I would say more than other people. Not necessarily the majority, just other people. Because if you were capable of doing your own like art, for example, then you would be able to like do your own stuff rather than needing to commission, for example, right? I'm not happy with my art skills. In fact, I don't believe I have any, which is why I don't personally make anything too out there. So I think I, as well as most other people, will place a certain value of assets, like some above others, right? I think a lot of people will put, having a better looking model over the Twitch panels, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in that case, right? Personally, I don't put as much value into Twitch panels, which is if you like go to my account, you'll see some like really basic like crappily made panels because I just don't think that's as important to commission. But there are other things I do plan to commission in the future just because I think those are more important.
And the price, is it fine?
The price, like you want me to talk about prices?
The ones that you have found so far.
Oh, personally, I'd rather not talk about that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know some people are more willing to talk about that, but like that's not something I'd rather not. Just personal preference. If you would allow
I
me.
mean, no, you have to do it. Yeah.
I can tell you after.
But I
Like
mean,
if you're really that curious, I'll just tell you after.
no. I mean, literally no problem. But I mean, in a sense, wait.
Yes.
But you haven't been scammed ever.
Scammed? No, never.
Yeah. Okay.
In terms of art commissions or in general like life?
I guess more than anything, art commissions have you been scamming life in general?
Well, in terms of life in general, technically speaking, like no exaggeration here. No exaggeration. People try scamming me every day because I own a CS:GO knife, and what happens is that
Okay.
there are like bots that will just scan like every Steam account, like every like public inventory Steam account for whatever they own. And once they see me like having a knife, they'll just like spam me with friend requests. So it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
But I've never had that case with art.
Yeah.
I
But I mean,
sorry, you finish.
mm-hmm. No. Say.
No, I was gonna say in general, I think I don't take too many risks in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, in general, also, I don't mean it as something negative, but most of the people really has a hard time when you simply need to look properly into the stuff that you're getting yourself into. Let's say it isn't really that hard to notice, or at the very least to cultivate a curator's eye to know what is it that you're getting yourself into. In that sense, it is hard, but it isn't the hardest thing about, or I don't know. I would rather spend 2 hours learning about how commissions work, for example, and how different arts look, than to spend how many 500 hours to make something barely acceptable.
I mean that's understandable,
So, yeah.
but there's also the monetary concern for a lot of people, which is why they're willing to do stuff on their own, right?
Yeah, well, obviously, also you have to accept that, in a sense, you are already accepting that you have the money. If you don't have the money, you sadly have to make do with whatever it is that you have, and you have to invent almost a solution for every problem that you find yourself in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Without ever relying on the rest, sadly. But I mean, I will say nowadays, incredibly, it is a minority of the people who has to do with things like that, has to deal, sorry, with things like that. And even more, I mean, one of the few things that I think is sadly underappreciated is the amount of free assets that are out there. For example.
No, you have a good point because there are a ton out there. but a lot of people want that the more like custom, more tailored nature of custom assets, right? And there's also like that degree of some people not wanting to like share assets with other people.
Yeah, but I mean, even in that realm of free assets, you have particularly talking about Vtuber, for example, you have the well-known Omori base model, man.
Me?
That is something incredibly popular.
Oh yeah. You know, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it is also very, very, truly very customizable. It only needs to be properly observed, but it doesn't mean that you can't have something that, while being free, also concealing your soul behind, let's say. It simply requires proper analysis, and not of the market, simply of the sea of assets that is out there, I will argue. But I mean, it is kind of the same as with ordering anything in particular. You need to spend much time, or so much more time than what really gets said, I think. Because, in a sense, for example, we can almost trace it back to what we were talking about at the start of this. Even videos that do well, or quote unquote well, might as well not be your main interest, because you know that the videos that are literally the most watched ones are the Mr. Beast videos, yet you still don't watch them,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a reason why. Although the human filtering part, or the human curating part, or audience curating part is literally the best one that you will find ever. So yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, very interesting. So well, let me. Okay, wait. Okay.
Yes.
I think I don't ask it enough because I don't play videos. But are you looking forward to any particular video?
To be honest, there are a few, but I'm not. I want to say I'm not super excited to the point of like where I'm keeping track of like, you know, every single day until release and like trying to go for like every piece of like news. Like I think it would be interesting to play Stalker 2, for example, but I don't have like a ton of skin in that game, if that makes any sense. Like I've never played the other games. It just looks interesting. Because one big issue I had before was that I just didn't have the hardware to actually play it. Like I just didn't have a good enough laptop that I could play anything in particular, right? Now I have like a 3080, so that's not as much of a concern. The main concern is mostly like money and whether or not I would enjoy it. So I would say at the moment, not necessarily looking forward to anything.
And I mean, wait. Do you like, or do you even have, for example, Minecraft?
I do have Minecraft, yeah.
Do you look forward to the updates?
No, at this point in time, I'm already burnt out on the main like gameplay loop. I don't even particularly enjoy like what new things they bring to the table because I feel like their design philosophy has changed from how I enjoyed like how I enjoyed their like stuff in the past. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm not sure like how much you know about Minecraft, for example, but the new changes and whatnot aren't as like interesting or engaging to me.
It depends. I mean, if you were to talk to me about Redstone, I probably can't follow you that much, but if you were to tell me in general, like, I think I can.
Oh, okay.
We can test.
Yeah, in general, the main things is just like they're focusing on things that don't necessarily interest me because again, going back to like Redstone, for example, just like generally, when you look at Minecraft as a whole, the whole player base is like very fractured in what they want. There are some people who are very focused on like exploring and like traveling, right? Then you have people who only want to build like big bases. You have people who want to dive deep into like the game and like be as efficient as possible, right? With like their contraptions. And you have people who just like redstone and stuff, right? So it's very hard to strike a balance where you can create new content that also interlocks with every other system in the game that also makes everyone happy. So as a result, like the changes don't personally interest my playstyle. Like, one big change that they're doing is that there's like a whole new like area where you like challenge like monsters, right? Like that doesn't interest me because while I like exploring stuff, I'm not like hugely into like that like whole combat pattern or whatever they're planning to bring into the game. And a lot of the changes they like make aren't interesting to me. Like,
Well, I mean,
yeah, no, you finish. I'm just gonna keep rambling on about random Minecraft changes, but it's not really gonna add to the point. So you finish.
no, I mean, I understand it because for example, it isn't simply as good as you make it seem almost, because sadly with combats, for example, you have also to accept that in the particular case of Minecraft, you're dealing with an older system that has been crying almost to be changed since, when was it? The 1.10 or something like that?
1.9
And they
combat update.
never, yeah, but they never really did anything about it. And it is a incredible pain to play with that. So yeah, there are, it isn't as simple as this new particular mechanic. It is an even older system. I mean, for example, like, I don't know. On the other side, you can still give praise to Minecraft in some cases because, for example, the world generation based on chunks is still one of the most amazing things that allows even the worst of the PCs to run it, because you can see how much it can contain without really overloading any particular machine, while being almost infinite in amount of space that it occupies, or that it has for the player to use. Sorry. And stuff like that gets on the other side fought back by changes like a system that makes no sense. I mean, I don't know. For example, I think Minecraft suffers in particular a very diluted, um, as you said, and as it ended up happening through the years, but from older times, it has too much of a diluted personality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I guess if they were to elevate all of the already existing system and reward those who are literally unusable, like, I don't know. I don't like fishing. I am sorry, I don't like it. I would rather have something more of a mini game like Stardew Valley fishing game than Minecraft, in my case. If they were to change stuff like that, obviously the combat, it would be incredibly better, but I don't know. At the very least, there's that, I guess. But, well, what do we do? We keep on Minecraft.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Again, you sounded tired, so
Okay,
if you
okay,
want to
okay.
call it a night, it's up to you.
No, I mean, it is a point of common interest because, and mods, don't you have hope on mods?
I, funnily enough, I'm actually not super into Minecraft mods.
Yeah,
I
but you have tried them.
yes, in the past, I enjoyed them. I just don't really get into them. Because the thing about modding for me at least is that it just seems like a bit of a pain. To make sure like stuff works properly, finding the right mods and stuff. Like, one game I do mod is like Project Zomboid, but that's just because it's like literally, it's literally that easy. It's just like opening the Steam Workshop.
Okay, Terraria?
Terraria? I played Terraria, but I don't enjoy it as much as Minecraft.
Yeah, because something that has happened, not nowadays, I think it has been since the Feed the Beast era. You have systems that allow you, like Terraria and like what you said, Project Zomboid, to literally with a click get so much content, man. I think you might find something interesting there because the mod packs are something interesting, I would
No,
say.
I definitely understand. Like, as someone who mods Project Zomboid quite a bit, I understand how like it literally breathes new life into games. It's just that like
Yeah.
at the moment, I find more interest in playing a new game altogether than modding like Minecraft, which is again I mentioned before, I'm already kind of bored of the existing core gameplay loop.
But I mean, for example, solving the fighting system, you know? Magic. But yeah, I don't know. Yes, I guess. I don't know. Sadly, it has too many problems at this point. It is like a walking corpse, as they will say. But well, I mean. And you have. I mean, you play League and the real tactical one, Counter Strike.
Yes.
And aside from that, any other interests?
To be honest, not really. Like those are my main games, and I don't even really play Counter Strike anymore.
Yeah.
Like I occasionally play League with friends, and like right now I'm not doing a whole lot in terms of games. Like I did get into actually what games did I get into recently? I can't even remember, dude. That's how bad my memory is. That's how bad my memory is. How boring my life is.
No.
What game was it? Risk of Rain 2. That one's really fun. That's what I've gotten
Yeah.
into recently.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, also having those games that you can play almost literally with a brain turned off is a very entertaining thing. I mean, I remember when I used to keep playing games, what I defaulted the most was to those things. To things that I can literally not pay attention while I am doing something else or while I am hearing something else. For example, I mean, watching or hearing in that case a stream. Interesting. But
Sorry, hello, you still there?
yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking about the question, but I got lost in the way of trying to ask it.
No,
So,
no, it's all good. I understand.
yeah, the question would be something like this. And don't you think maybe there is a market for you in the older era?
Pardon, market for what? Sorry.
In general, for you, like for your interests, your what you like to play, what are your common. Like, who was it that I saw playing the Deus Ex? Was it you?
Me? Yeah, I did a Deus Ex stream one time.
Yeah. For example, something like that. Going back into the older times and playing stuff like that, you know? Going.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's as interesting to watch with how I play. So I've already played it multiple times. So you don't get that interesting like factor of it being new to me. And I'm not good enough at the game either to make it interesting in the sense that you'd watch like a super good player playing it. It's just watching a guy play it again in like no particularly interesting way is what I think. Like I tried to make it interesting initially with the whole speedrunning thing, but the fact of the matter is that I just wasn't even good enough at speedrunning it. Because I watched the video one time and then I got like overconfident as hell. I was like, I watched the video, I'm gonna become a pro speedrunner. Like obviously, I didn't. You know, I'm not like being serious here, but like I did like look up a bit of the strategies and like I was like, oh, I'm gonna implement some of them here and there, and that'd be funny to watch. But I don't know. That's just not something I plan to do again anytime soon.
No, we lost it. We lost our speed running. Boy, this is so sad. And I mean, well, for example, taking into consideration all of the things that you say, why did you decide to play Mushroom now?
People have mentioned before they want to see me play it. I am I will simply play what people want to see. That I'm more than happy to give the audience what they want.
People have said enough times that they want to see League. Why aren't you playing League?
That's a good question. I don't think I could personally make League interesting. At least with Mahjong, for example, people like actually are willing to not only teach it, but there's also, to me at least, one piece of advice I read, right, of when it comes to making content is like, it was the question. Um the question was, would you watch X content, right? And the answer to that question is, would you personally watch that? And for me to personally watch Mahjong, I would either um I would either be someone knowledgeable on it. So in terms of League, I'm more interested in watching League played by a new player, because like I think it's interesting to watch a new player, and like I could also have the possibility of teaching it. But in that same vein, on the other hand, I think that would be interesting to watch, like for Mahjong. So that's just my personal feelings is what I think. I don't think I can make League super interesting because I'm neither a new player or an interesting player to watch. Like I just kind of play the game. I play the game in such a way that's not necessarily entertaining. It's entertaining for me as a player, but not as a viewer, I would think.
But wait. Why wouldn't it be entertaining for the viewer if it is entertaining for you as the player? What lacks?
The actual gameplay, like I think that's just a natural thing that comes with games, right? Like the gameplay experience and the viewer experience when it comes to a video gamer are completely different, is what I think.
I mean, no, I do not say it as harsh thing, but as a real question. And what, for example, Slay the Spire provides for the viewer that League of Legends can't?
Well, for Slay the Spire, I was actually new to Slay the Spire,
You
and
know?
and it's more interesting, I think, strategy wise, because at least that I personally would find watching someone describe Slay the Spire more interesting than watching someone describe League of Legends. Like I've watched people describe League of Legends and explain strategies and stuff. Like I still do that to this day for certain like new strategies, but it's something I specifically seek out for like very specific things. Like it's not like I would watch any person explain League of Legends like generally. Like it's more so just me applying my taste here to what I would personally watch is what I would personally stream, is what I'm gonna say, or at least similarity wise.
Yeah. I mean, what we said basically some time ago, the importance of really trying to create anything valuable and self-sustainable, because if you are going to stream something that you're not even going to enjoy, almost what is the point, my man? So yeah, I mean, it is part of the process. I don't know, I can't, or I wouldn't try to negate anybody who works like that, bro. I don't know, very fine, I guess. But kind of changing the topic then, and reaction stuff.
What do I think about reaction stuff? Or
doing you?
No. I don't have interesting enough reactions to stuff. I don't even personally watch reaction content. Like I don't personally watch. I don't want to explain. You know XQC, right? Like you know how like the main joke was like, oh, he's gonna sit in the chair and like eat cereal and not pay attention, right? So that kind of content doesn't interest me. When it comes to reaction content, the kind that does interest me is the kind that has like a ton of like thought and effort put into it. So like someone watches like a movie, for example, and then they like comb through it and they pick out specific scenes, right? It's like the difference between like an essay and like plagiarism, for example, like where you actually put a lot of like effort into your critique rather than just like being like, how interesting or how cool. Like I want to see something deeper when it comes to an analysis of something, and I personally don't think I can provide that for any particular piece of content. So I wouldn't personally want to react to it. And to me, another important thing is whether or not someone would want to watch my reaction to something. Which I don't think is necessarily the case. I think people are happy to hear my like random like rambles on like random tangents or like stories I know of. But for me to react to like what's a video like? What's a popular video people reacted to? I don't know, like a Mr. Beast video.
Yeah.
Let's bring up Mr. Beast again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone would necessarily want me to like talk about wow, like how cool I think Mr. Beast putting 100 people in a stadium is gonna be.
Yeah. But I mean, you also have things like, I don't know. I guess you have heard or watched it. The life of, what was it? Boogie, Blobby, something like that.
I'm
The guy who was from. Mhm.
no, sorry, I wasn't familiar, but if you can like elaborate further, maybe I would understand what you're talking about.
The guy who is who was a internet personality, let's say, who became famous for his videos making fun of himself. He uh, he was very, very popular, and he had a channel, and he, because of that, he had the possibility of gaining some money out of it. But I don't know. Uh, so that guy basically, and he became popular because somebody decided, I think some months ago, or 1 or 2 months ago, to make a documentary about his life, basically. And people were reacting to it. I mean, it literally boosted his channel like with 100,000 subscribers, and it wasn't uploaded on his channel. It was traffic created from another completely different video. Something like that.
No, sorry, I've actually never seen this person before.
No?
Nope.
Let me.
I'm pretty certain I've never heard of this person.
Let me search for it, because at this point I can't believe it. It was incredibly popular. Boogie. Give me a second. I am now determined to show it to you. Give me a
All
second.
right, yeah, go for it if you wanna.
I know. Man, you have seen it. I know you have seen it at this point.
No,
I am
no.
so convinced.
It's very common for me to not know like some very popular stuff. Like, I'm not gonna like say like I'm
What?
super like counterculture and like I only like know obscure like stuff, but I'm very out of the loop for a lot of mainstream stuff if that's the case.
Shash. Yeah. But it happens here. The sad life of Boogie 2988.
Boogie, oh my god, Boogie, yes, sorry, I understand now. Yeah. No, I watched that documentary. I watched that documentary when it came out, dude. It was like Pure Chance. That was a great documentary.
Yeah. So something like that, something that is capable of providing content, basically.
Yeah, but I wouldn't personally react to it because I don't know enough about Boogie and like it would a lot of reaction content, in my opinion, it is very similar to like being in a Discord call with friends and just kind of watching it that way, right? But instead it's like you with a big streamer in chat, right? But I don't find that as interesting as like a really deep dive analysis into something.
Yeah. But do you think people was able to I mean, the majority of the people who decided to comment on it knew who he was?
No, but that's more so like them enjoying being with a streamer and that kind of experience. But that's not necessarily what I want to provide, if that makes any sense. I don't think there's an audience for that with me, and again, just not my cup of tea of what I want to do.
But yeah, man, something like that. That was the example. a lot of games, what? Videos that are out there to be reacted to, you know? I mean, I never try to engage with stuff like that, but do you think, for example, you have a feed that is capable of providing that type of content?
No.
You don't think you have something that could be reacted from there?
Nope. I don't think there's anything I could personally react to like in an interesting way.
But more so because nothing that you see normally is worth yours, or because in particular
Well,
you
for me in particular, it's just the lack of expertise, and like that's why I don't wanna do it.
okay. I understand completely. Okay, I had to kill a I had to kill a fucking spider.
No,
Sorry for
that's
that.
fine. That's fine.
What the fuck was that? But well, I think that's it for so far.
All right. Okay, that's fine. If you want to call it, I'm happy to end it there.
Yeah. I got scared. Ma fucking god. Well, I mean, getting back into this, it went pretty fine. As always, it is nice, and even more in this case, to chat not so secretively, I would say. So yeah, very enjoyable.
Thank you.
Assassination attempt. Yeah. No, thank you. Thanks to you, Arke. As always, please. It is a pleasure. And well, I guess it isn't that much, but still. uh, let me do this. Obviously, here we endorse or guy. Wait,
Pardon?
you change one of your names or socials, like.
Oh yeah. I changed my because my Twitter used to have no underscore, but I made everything consistent across the board, so it's all underscore. Like all of them have the underscore.
Okay.
Because it was just a bit annoying to not have that, but I know some people have it in their like search history that like it has no underscore. So if like you go to that page, it looks like I deleted my account, right? So
Yeah. But I mean, better basically.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's a
as
lot
you said,
better. It's a lot
literally.
better that's all consistent now.
Consistency is
Key?
beautiful. So well, yeah.
Oh,
As I was trying to say, is here we always endorse or guy Arkia. I think it is obviously entertaining to watch to watch Arkia sometimes struggle to topics, sometimes go onto real tangents about stuff that he likes. Like, I mean, for example, here we were able to contain it a little bit, but it is still League that you like League, for example. You know?
it's just
So
it's just
yeah.
part of my life now. You know, I'm just that guy who knows about League. I literally can't help but talk about it because that's like the one thing I can compare everything to. I swear to God, you can compare anything to League of Legends. But it's become so much
Well, I
of a
mean,
problem for me. I had to make a redeem just so that people would stop having to hear that.
I don't know. I think people also get unnecessarily nervous about things sometimes. Or I mean, not nervous, more like they decide to make fun out of
Oh yeah, that's that
what
for sure.
they notice you also kind of get nervous. So yeah, I don't know. The beauty of creating content to be to be played with by your audience.
I'm sorry. What do you mean by
But well,
nervous? I'm never nervous. What does he mean by this?
the most professional streamer overall internet quality content. Arkia, basically.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, let's see. Can we Do we have any recommendation? We have, man, we have a Klondike. We have the man himself. Have you catch any of his streams? Okay.
No, I only managed to catch one of his very early test streams where he was like drawing shapes or something. I haven't actually had a chance to catch anything recently.
We are going to rate there, man. This is quality content. This is the best way to finish this. After well, he isn't here, so there is no pressure on him because he isn't probably going to hear it. But I think he's an interesting guy to do a collab with. He seems to know a little bit of stuff like we do here, so I think it will be interesting to have him in the future. I think. I don't know if you have, for example, seen him enough, but I can give my validation coin here. So yeah, let us right there. Right, Klondike.
Don't forget the raid message, dude. Very important. Exclamation mark raid.
Oh no. Oh no.
You have an exclamation mark raid?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know how many people had it before, but I decided to instantly create it.
No, because I don't have one. I know for a fact that I don't have one.
Yeah. I don't know about the rest, but I think it is necessary to have it. Wait, what happened? Wait, what? What leaving? Who was it? Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Fabricant. Thank you for the follow, my man. And well, as I was saying, we're going to raid Klondike, sorry, who is in this case streaming. Yeah, literally what you said. He's still practicing some shapes. So yeah, basically that. As always, and even more on this occasion, thanks first and foremost to Arkia, also to every lurker, every watcher, every water watcher. Thanks everyone. And well, I think something else, Arkia.
No, I have nothing else to say. Sorry.
Okay, then yes. Thanks for being here. And until next time, whenever it happens. Stay safe. Thanks for all. Stay rested. And now, right, who? Klondike doing art. So yeah, 10, 9. No, I will hit it myself. Right.
Just do it. Yeah, it's running out of time.
So yeah.
So sorry.